everybody, I am back again with a new video for all of you, and if you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Maisha from the channel Bambi Artistic, where I just see myself as a lover of makeup and all things, well, artistic. And I just wanted to take the time today to thank anybody who decided to come and watch my video. And if you like this video, please like and subscribe for more. Yay! So, for today's video, it's another full face of insert brand here video, where this time I'll be doing e.l.f. I know e.l.f. is a very beloved drugstore brand, so I am very excited to be trying out some of their stuff today. So let's just get right into it. First off, I will be starting with a primer. This is their Luminous Matte Makeup Primer. I know it's not one of the more famous ones, but basically they were having a really big sale, so I picked up a bunch of stuff from there, and I also have some products intermixed in that I already own. So let me just get right into it. So it's with acai berry. Huh, interesting. I wonder if it's gonna smell like that. So it looks like that. That's a very tiny amount. I'm probably gonna need more. I feel like that's good enough. And then I can add more if I need to. Doesn't smell like it. It kind of smells soapy almost. Interesting. I wonder how a luminous matte finish would look like. I'm interested to find out. So guess while I am putting this on my face, how has everybody's day been so far? I pretty much just woke up, had breakfast, lunch, because I don't really eat breakfast in the morning. Comment down below if you eat breakfast or you're like me and just have coffee and then have a bigger lunch later. I don't know. It you know what? This kind of feels like the Ulta primer I have. Where is that thing? Oh yeah, it fell over. Oh, it fell over when I was filming a video. Or no, it fell over while I was doing my makeup yesterday, I think, or something like that. It kind of feels like this one, this Ulta Beauty Flawless Primer. It feels very similar to that. Kind of similar consistency, so. And I like this one really well, so I guess that's a good sign. By the way, the Ulta Flawless Primer is no longer available, so sorry if any of you guys are interested in picking that up. Last time I checked, at least this specific one isn't, but I'm pretty sure there's probably a similar one out there. So, because I saw something that was similar to that, it just wasn't the same name. But anyway, let me go on to the next product, which is the e.l.f. Acne Fighting Foundation. I am very curious as to how this works. Let me see. Cleanse the skin thoroughly before applying medication. Cover the entire area with a thin layer 1 to 3 times a day. Interesting. But yeah, I'm curious as to how this works because as you can see, I have acne. I mean, again, it's not that bad. Literally, I just have to keep up with a regimented skin routine. These are just scars. So don't worry too much about me. But I am interested in trying this because it's Acne Fighting Foundation. I also saw that they had a acne primer, but that wasn't on sale, so that's why I didn't pick it up. So yeah, on one side I'm just gonna do it like I did last time, and one side I'm going to do it with a brush, and then the other side I'm going to do it with a dampened beauty blender. So let's see. I'm gonna put some on the back of my hand. It's already kind of coming out, and I just tipped it over. Just like that amount. And then I will add more later if I need it. So first we're just going to go in with the brush side. And just go like that. Go like this. Oh, it has an interesting smell. It's a bit light, but I can always deepen it up with a bronzer. Actually melts into the skin fairly well. Oh, it has pretty good coverage too. Interesting. Uh-oh. Is that a brush hair? God damn. It's either a brush hair or my hair. I don't know what it is. I actually really like the finish of this. It looks really nice. Yeah, that has really good coverage. I really like the coverage in this. It's just the right amount. Get it's a bit light for my skin tone, but it actually melds in fairly okay. And again, I can always deepen it up with the bronzer. Like, I'd rather have a foundation that's too light because you can deepen those up fairly easily with like concealer and bronzer. But a foundation is too dark, it's kind of harder to lighten it up. So, but like, even though it's a bit light, it actually works fairly well for my skin tone. So, yeah, pretty cool. And I love the coverage. Like, you can see that it toned down the redness on this one a lot and covered up this one fairly well. Now let's try the other side with a wet beauty blender. And I will tell you guys which side I like better, or if they are negligible. And you can use whatever method you want. So I'm just gonna take one of these. These are like freshly dampened, so far it's honestly fairly negligible for the most part. To me, like, at least on my forehead so far, they look pretty much the same. So, but I actually do see a difference on this side with my acne, so that's pretty cool. And just kind of do the same thing here. And I really like the coverage that it has. It has really nice coverage. Like, for me, I obviously like foundations that have a bit more coverage because your girl got problematic skin dough. So, you know, I like foundations with a bit more coverage. Like, I don't mind if it's buildable, but I've noticed within myself, I just don't like foundations that have, like, light coverage that much. But it's like, if I have a high coverage concealer, it won't bother me, like, too much. But it's just like, I've just noticed that I like higher coverage better. Let me see. Yeah, so it's like pretty negligible for the most part. I think really the only difference is like this just like is a little bit lighter coverage than the brush side. So I'm just gonna add one more layer with the Beauty Blender. Because, I mean, it makes sense because a lot of it got sucked up into here. So, you know, obviously it's going to do that. So I'm just going to go like that. One more time. Depending on what kind of coverage you want, basically it's like if you want more like lighter coverage, go with the Beauty Blender. If you want more full coverage, go with the brush. But I do also notice that there is a bit more of like there's a smoother application with the Beauty Blender, because on this side, when you use a brush, like the brush strokes are really hard to get rid of. So, like when you use just a brush. But normally I always go in with another Beauty Blender and I like take off any excess foundation and remove any brush strokes. All right. And I like the finish of this. I think it looks really good, and it actually blended into my skin really well despite looking a little light at first. I like the finish. It actually like really blurred stuff really well, and it took care of my problem areas really well. So yeah, I like that. I'm wondering if it's like maybe the primer or foundation. I'll definitely have to try this foundation with more primers to see how it works. But with this foundation so far, it looks pretty good. Now for the next thing, I will be going in with the e.l.f. Flawless Concealer. I've heard a lot of good things about this, so I am excited to try it. So I will just be basically doing some spot concealing, and then I will be doing a bit under the under eye. Okay, that's actually a pretty good shade. Like, especially particularly with this foundation, and then I always do a bit around my nose area. And as I said, I basically just spot conceal any problem areas. And so far, I really like the way my face is feeling. My face doesn't feel like it has a lot of makeup on, and we love that. So I'm just going to do that and blend those areas out real quick, and then I will be doing my under eye, because my under eye is like a whole nother process for me. Because as you see, I have a lot of dark circles underneath there. So I'm just going to go like this. And that blends in fairly well. Wow. And actually has really good coverage. That is... So far, I'm really impressed with everything that I've tried. It's pretty cool. But yeah, kind of story time with e.l.f. I remember when I was younger and like when we were like buying makeup for me for figure skating, I remember not liking e.l.f. that much. And then that was back when they were like way cheaper. And I just like, I feel like I remember at that time e.l.f.'s products just weren't that good. And then all of a sudden I'm seeing like on beauty YouTube that everybody's raving about e.l.f. all the time. And I'm just like, what's all the hoopla? Their products aren't that great, but it's like, that's back from a time where their products weren't actually that good. So, I am pleasantly surprised with how everything is working so well. So I'm just gonna put a little bit more on there. Like that's like that concealer blended in really, really well. So yeah, like my face looks really, really good right now. Like this is the best my face has looked with my makeup. Like, wow, I am impressed. Like genuinely really impressed. Like this is working like a high-end brand would work. Like, look at that. Wow. Okay, so I'm going to do my under eyes. We'll see how this goes. I'm going to do the Robert Welsh technique. And on one side, I'm going to blend in with a brush, and the other side, I'm going to use my finger. So, I will also be experimenting with these brushes today from the Robert Welsh brush favorites from Sigma. I've always been interested in picking up a set, and then Sigma had a sale, so I was like, I gotta get on that. And I got these, and I am very, very excited to try them out. For my first brush that I will be using today, I will be using this brush on that side, because I see him use this brush for concealer on the other eyes like a lot, so I'll be trying that today. And as I have stated earlier, I will not be going, the only thing that I will be using that's not e.l.f. besides the brushes is a brow gel, because I tried their brow gel, did not like it like at all. It like didn't really set my brows very well, and it made my brows crunchy, and it just like was not a good time. So I will be going in with, see if you can say it with me, my Glossier boy brow. Like, did you expect I would go in with anything else if I wasn't going in with an e.l.f. one? So just going to, like, I am telling you, like, this stuff is good stuff. Like, I think the only thing that kind of came close to this was, like, the NYX brow glue. But I would say they're not really dupes of each other, because they do work differently. Like, this, like, the NYX brow glue definitely is, like, perfect for if you were going for, like, a laminated brow look, and it's, like, because, like, this one you can shape your brows more into, like, what you want it to be, and it sets really well, but they both work really well. So, obviously, when I run out of this one, I will be using my NYX brow glue next, but, like, that's the only one that, like, comes even close to this. So, now, and, like, the reason I did my brows first is I wanted to let this, like, set a bit before I tried blending it out, because I feel like that works really well for when I do under eyes. So I will be trying this brush on this side, and then I'll be using my finger on the other side. Actually, you know what? I should use the finger first, because that's like the one I know. I'll be doing that on this side. Seeing how this works. Oh wow, that actually has pretty good coverage. That's pretty good. The other eye. I might not even have to go in with another concealer, because usually I go in with another concealer on top, but like that's pretty good coverage. And then now I will be using the brush on this side. So I'm just gonna go in like this. Okay, that's pretty good. You see that? This brush. I like this, wow. And I can see why it's really good for under eye, because it has like a really kind of weird shape. So it can really get in there on like other brushes. It's pretty good. Okay, so that's the concealer. So far, I am really impressed with everything that I've tried. Good for you, e.l.f. Good for you. Next, I will be going in with some blotting powder. Okay, so I just have to say this off the bat. I am not a fan of this packaging. It's a bit bulky, but it is what it is. And I don't even end up using these puffs anyway, but I'm going to try it with the puffs since it comes with it. So yeah, this is the deep shade. I will say I'm a bit disappointed with the shade range for blotting powders, but you know. Okay, actually using the puff is not that bad. And for my skin tone, it works fairly well, but I mean, come on, this isn't deep. This is more like medium. This is definitely like medium. Because like I consider myself medium deep for most shade ranges. And like the fact that it's like I am able to use deep doesn't really sit well with me. But I mean, hey, it's a pretty good powder. I just it like blurred pretty well. Made my face look not so shiny. But I really hope that they do expand their shade range, because this isn't deep. I'm sorry. Again, like, it's packaging, bit bulky, but the pad isn't that bad, you know? At least it doesn't, like, pick up too much product, so. But, yeah. Next time I'll probably go in with a brush. But, like, it's not bad. Again, I'm not disappointed. So I will be trying out their Putty bronzer. I am very excited about this because I have seen and heard good things about it. So I will be going in on one side with a damp beauty blender, and then the other side I will be using a hello, out, please, thank you. I'll be using this flat kabuki brush from the Robert Welsh Sigma brush set. So I'll put you over here. Stay there, okay? So I'll be doing the beauty blender because that's normally how I go in with bronzers. Anyways. Yeah. Okay, cool. And then we'll be going like this. Ooh. A very nice finish. So I just usually pinch the blender like this and I go like this. Okay, I really like that because it deepens up my skin very nicely without looking orange. It's a very nice tone. So if you guys are wondering, this was the, what tone was this? Can't even remember. Doesn't say on here. Golden Daze. This is the tone Golden Daze. And like days as in D-A-Z-E. So I'm just gonna go in like that. And so what I tend to do is I tend to use bronzer in the hollows of my cheeks, and then I take it up also on the side like this. You can see it gives me a very nice, like, subtle bronze, like just deepens up slightly, but it's like, I really like this. Wow. Okay, so just gonna go in with one more layer. And I have to say, their Putty bronzers actually like come in a fairly good shade range. Like, and that's pretty good for drugstore brands, because drugstore brands are really not known for necessarily having good shade ranges. But yeah, this one has a really good shade range. Like, it has, from what I remember, I think they have either like 5 or 6 shades, and it has a really good range. So I am impressed by that. I really like how that looks. And it didn't take off any of my foundation underneath. We love that. So next I will be going on the other side with this flat kabuki brush, because that's the other way I've seen people use like cream bronzers and stuff. So I'm just kind of going in here like this and just literally jabbing it in there. Okay, that goes on pretty well on that side as well. And I feel like using this for cream bronzers and other cream products would be like really, really good, because it can get really good. And like that's like finish, that has a very nice finish as well. The only thing I probably don't like is that like it's so small, so like this brush like barely fits in there. But I mean, it gives a really nice finish on this side as well. And then just going to go up on the side like always. And then just like that, just gonna go in with one more layer. But like other than that, it looks pretty good. So I feel like the on the Beauty Blender side, it just gives like a slightly more glowing effect versus like using a brush. But yeah, I would say both work fairly well for this one, because it has a very, it's kind of similar to the Say one actually that I tried, which is my other favorite cream bronzer. And then I will be going in on my forehead, and as you guys know, I tend to use bronzer all over my forehead as a form of color correcting. Like, wow, I am really impressed with everything that I have tried so far, and that like rarely happens with a brand. Normally I'm pretty like meh on most things, but like I'm like really impressed with everything. And this is like e.l.f. It's a drugstore brand, and like, wow. Like, that is amazing. And like, see, that bronzer deepened up my skin tone fairly well. Like, so which is why I was like okay with the foundation being like slightly lighter. Like, obviously you don't want to look ashy, but I didn't feel like I looked ashy, you know? So it's pretty good. Wow. Okay, so moving on to blush. So I'm just amazed. I am impressed with everything that I've tried so far. So the Putty blush was not on sale, so I will be going with the primer infused blush instead. I wonder how this feels. Okay, so it's very powdery. It's more of a powder, so I'll just be using a powder brush. So I'll just be going in with this brush from this like set I got from TJ Maxx. It's this color, so we shall see. And it's in shade Always Peachy. Okay, that is a lot of, you can kind of see that there's kickback in there. The kickback doesn't really normally bother me too much, but it is fairly powdery. Just something to note. Oh, that looks nice. I like that tone. I like that tone a lot. And I just kind of go like right in on my cheeks. And since there's really no other way to put powder blush on, I'm just using a brush on both sides. Wow. I like that. I like the way that looks on my face. Hold on, let me go up close. Yeah, no, that looks really nice. It's not really clinging on to anything. And the tone's pretty good. Shows up really well on my skin tone, so we love that for ourselves. Yeah. And we'll be putting blush on my chin. And again, like I really like the way that this looks on my face. Like I really like this color. I really like this tone. I really like the finish of it. Wow. And it goes well over cream products, even though I don't really put blush and bronzer over each other, because again, like I saw on like a Robert Welsh video, you want to put bronzer here, blush up here, and highlighter at the very top when it comes to kind of placement of stuff, so it doesn't become like a muddy mess. Like, wow, that's amazing. Like, that looks really good. I am just having a great day, you guys. Like, I have loved everything so far. I would say my only real complaint with this is that there is a lot of like kickback, but again, it doesn't bother me too much. But if it bothers you, that's something to note with the primer infused blush. I have heard very good things about the putty blushes too, so maybe I should try those next. Let me know in the comments below if you want me to try the e.l.f. putty blushes, because I will if you guys ask for it. So next thing is highlighting powder. Shimmer highlighting powder. Come on, open. And I have to say, like, I really like their packaging. It's very like sleek and simple. So that's what it looks like in there. I'm excited to try it. So the next brush I will be using, so on one side I will be using my fan brush, and the other side I will be using this one, because I saw that he said that this is really good for using for highlights, so I will try that. So I will go in with the fan brush on one side, because that's the method that I know really well. I mean, oh, that was a lot that I picked up. Okay, that looks really cute. It's not too glowy. It's very glow from within, kind of. Like, you can like barely notice, but it's like, sometimes that's a good vibe to go for. It's not like really shiny like Becca highlighters are, but I like it. It's cute. Like, I would say though that if you're of a lighter skin tone, this probably gonna be too deep on you. Like for me, it works really well. I feel like for me and deeper, like this is a really good highlight because it shows up very like golden. So yeah, you love that. So I'm gonna go in with this brush on the other side. Just gonna go like this. Oh yeah. No, this brush is really good for highlighter as well, because it gives a very diffused look. And I really like this formula. Wow. Like, drugstore brands have really been coming through lately. We love that. So yeah. And then I am going to put a little bit on my chin. Just like this. And I will also put some on the middle of my forehead like this. And I will also be putting some on my nose. Because again, that's where light tends to catch on my face. So that's why I'm putting highlighter in those places. You want to put highlighter on the places where light catches your face naturally, so it doesn't really look like you just have a bunch of glitter all over your face. That's what I learned from Robert Welsh. This is not, don't credit me when it comes to that. Like, I really like the way this highlighter looks. It looks very, it's like glowy, but it's natural. least on my skin tone. Again, I think this is going to be too deep for you if you are lighter than me. So yeah, that's how highlighter looks. Next, I will be going in with some more with another brow product because I kind of forgot about my brows for a hot second. So this is the e.l.f. Ultra Precise Brow Pencil. I have actually tried this before and I like it, you know. It works fairly well for how I do my brows. You know, like it's just really good for filling in sparse areas. Like I really feel like, honestly, if you're not doing anything crazy revolutionary with your brows, brow products like this work fairly well. You're just filling in some sparse areas. Like, see? My brows are just like slightly a little bit more defined. Yeah, so if you're looking for like a brow, if you're looking for a good brow product for cheap, this is the right one for you. And like they're really good for using at the tail end. So, cause like you can draw on a really nice like defined tail. Cause it's like really, really thin. So yeah, that's how my brows look. Again, it's not anything like too revolutionary, but I feel like if your brows aren't too revolutionary, then there's really not much of a problem. So I'll be going in with these two products next. I will be using the e.l.f. Mint Melt palette and the Putty eye primer, because this one was on sale when I picked it up. Basically, the last two products I picked up, the only two products I picked up that weren't on sale was the Putty eye primer and the Putty blush. So it'll be interesting to try both of them out. Be interesting to try the Putty eye primer out and this palette. I have heard good things about this particular palette, so I am excited to try it. I didn't pick up the other one that was fully mint because I already have a palette that is very similar to that, which is the Animal Crossing palette, and also in this one just kind of like I feel like I would use more. So yeah, this one I'll just be going in with a finger. So that is, oh geez, okay, come on, there we go. And I'm just gonna put it on my eye like this. Okay. That's not bad. That covered up pretty well. I will say it is a bit hard to blend out, just a bit. So just keep that in mind. You have to really kind of be tough with your eye. And if you have sensitive eyes, it's probably not a good idea. So we'll see how it goes, how eyeshadow goes on top of it. Because like you see how I have to like really dig in there to like get stuff out with it, and it is really hard to, it is a bit hard to blend out. So you have to be really, really rough with your eyelid, and I don't think that's good. Again, it has pretty good, it blacked out my discoloration fairly well, but you know, so yeah, it is fairly tacky though, so hopefully the eyeshadows over it will go on well. So yeah, so that's what the Putty eye primer looks like. And then I will be going in with this Mint Melt palette. Baby one. So cute. Little baby butts. So I will be going in with this. Sorry for the squeaking. My parents are playing with the dog. I'll be going in with, I will be trying out this brush today. Putting this in my crease area. And the reason I am doing this because it provides a good transition shade for people of my skin tone. So just like that. Oh yeah, no, this brush is perfect for that area. And I will be doing the same thing to the other side right now. I am not one of those people who can do one side completely and then copy the other side. I am not that talented. So I will be doing both sides at the same time. And I feel like that is how you, if you want to be able to get like a similar look on both sides, you should be doing both sides at the same time. And normally you would start out with your bad eye. But after a while, once you get comfortable, you can start out with whatever eye. So yeah, and then I just use sweeping motions back and forth, and I open and close my eyes so it is thoroughly blended. And just like that, you got a defined crease. So what I'm going to do now is I am going to take this brush, like a flat, hold on, actually, I'm gonna try another brush real quick. I think I'm gonna try using this brush on the outside. And there's this one as well. This domed utility. I don't know what these words mean, in all honesty. So I think I'm going to try this on just like that. And I'm going to be using, I will be using this shade right here. Actually, no, I'm going to be going in with this shade first, and then I'll be using down in the outer corner. So we're just going to be going like this. And we'll just be going down the eye just like that. Honestly, like, these are pretty good quality shadows for like such a cheap price. And again, I got this on sale, so yeah, that blended pretty well. And I will be doing the same thing on the other side. Honestly, where have these Sigma brushes been all my life? Because I have been missing out. These are pretty good. Let me check my eyes up close. Looks pretty good on both sides. Again, I think this would be a really perfect shade for if you're my skin tone, for like an all over the lid shade. If you're going for a no makeup vibe, I really think this shade would be really good for that. And I'm doing it on half of my eyelid because I will be putting this shade in the outer corner. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this domed utility brush, and I am going to put this brown shade, this dark brown shade, in the outer corner to add some definition. And I literally will just be going like this. And voila, you got. And you can just brush that off with your finger. Just like that. Okay. And that blended fairly well. I will say this dark brown shade does have a lot of kick up in the pan, so just be wary of that. I will be doing the same thing on the other side, just like that. That side definitely blended a lot better. Yeah, so like this side's kind of the side like what I wanted that color to look like, so I'll be going in with a bit more just to kind of deepen it. And voila, what that looks like. But yeah, so far I really like this palette and I really like these brushes. So on the other side, what I'm just going to do really quickly is I'm going to go back in with this brown shade and I am just going to diffuse some of the color that accidentally linked in with my sloppy application. Again, this is no fault of the palette. It is thoroughly my fault with my application. But yeah, these colors are fairly easy to blend. They show up very well on the eye, so I really like this. I'm just going to brush off some of the excess powder, which is fairly, so another good thing to note that this is really easy to clean up, and I'm going to go back in on the other side and blend the outer corner with this shade a little more seamlessly. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this shade and I am going to put it on the lid, and I'm going to use my finger because that's how I always tend to use shimmer shades, is with my finger. I feel like that's just the best application. And I'm going to go like this. I really like that. That showed up fairly well, gives a nice shine, but it's not too crazy looking. You know, this is the perfect palette for like when you're going for a more neutral look, but you know, you want to look nice. But yeah. I'm going to put a bit more on this side just so it matches the other side a bit better. Again, that blends, that looks very nice in the eye, applies fairly easily with the finger. And then, again, I'm just going to go back in to this brown shade and blend the two together. Oops, wrong shade. And just gonna go like this so they blend a little more seamlessly. And also so that brown shade doesn't get lost in the mix of everything. Voila. And just kind of a pro tip, don't worry if your eyeshadow look uneven on both sides. Secret, the human face is uneven. So don't worry if your makeup looks uneven on both sides. Most people don't even notice. And if they do, they're just being dumb and mean. And a bit more. And again, I'm just going back in with the shimmer shade just so we get an even blend. Voila. And last but not least, for the eye look, I will be going in with this shade on the inner corner. I will be using this brush for that. I am impressed with myself. I used every single shade in this palette, but there was only 4, so that was a very low bar to achieve. But I am still proud of myself for achieving that bar. Wow, I really like that. It gives like a nice little pop of color, and it kind of ties in with the outfit that I am wearing. Amazing. And it like gives a nice pop of color without being too much. So yeah, okay. And so I will be next thing I'll be going in with is a liner. Oh, it's one of these applicators. It's very similar to like the one of the ink, the NYX like ink epic wear liner. So wonder how this will apply. Okay, let's. And sorry if I'm not talking, I am concentrating very heavily right now. So I have to say, so far, It is pretty pigmented, goes on fairly easily. I'm not going to be doing like a wing or anything because I'm going to a D&D session later, so it'll be fairly like casual. Not trying to go too crazy out here. God, does anyone else's hand shake whenever they do liner? Because mine always do. And it is so incredibly annoying. I like this one. Even though I don't really like the applicator that much, the liner itself looks very nice. So last but not least, well actually it's not last, be using my e.l.f. Lash It Loud Volumizing Mascara. So that's what that looks like. And I have heard mixed things about this. So we shall see how I feel. Okay, so far I actually like this. Pushes my lashes up very well. Okay, I actually like the way my lashes look. And last but not least, I will most likely not be wearing this color to where I'm going because it is very, very red and very, very loud. But I just wanted to try it on camera with you guys because this was what was available, so I'll try it. Yeah. Oh, that is very red. Yeah, I definitely can't wear that. Well, I can, but it's just more so I don't want to. Because the thing is, I don't know my D&D group that well to be able to do, like, crazy kind of makeup looks. If I was just going with my friends, I'd definitely wear this, but... I like the way that feels. I mean, like, this is a really cute look, and I actually really like the way this lip looks, but I'm definitely going to change it later. I mean, I don't know. I'm kind of feeling this. Maybe if I, like, tone it down a bit. Because, man, I really, I mean, but I just love bright lip colors, so maybe I'm a bit biased. Yeah, I really like the way this feels. I love how bright it is. Oh, this is in the shade Red Carpet, by the way. And the reason I got this was because it was the only shade available. And also, I was in need of some more red lipsticks. You can never have too many of those. But yeah, okay, so final thoughts on everything. I am thoroughly impressed with how everything performed. Like, wow. Like, there was not a single thing that I, like, didn't like. With the exception of the brow gel that I didn't try in this video because I didn't see any point of repurchasing that and just telling you guys I hated it. Again, because I already know my opinions on it, and my opinion is I don't like it. So, oh crud. Yeah. I love everything. So I'll be going in order. This one, and then again, my grading scale will be from A to F. A being amazing, F being completely terrible. So this one, I am going to give a, and I will also have like on text like what each like grade means. I'm gonna give this a B because it's like, it's good, it did its job, you know, it's fine, not anything revolutionary, but you know, pretty good, like it. This foundation, I'm gonna give an A. I love this stuff. Like, it had a really, really nice finish. It actually, like, took care of my acne fairly well. My face looked really good. Even though it was a bit light, it blended into my skin very well, so it didn't, like, make me look ashy or anything like that. So, yeah, love this stuff. I would highly recommend trying this if you are acne prone like me. So, next thing I will be talking about is, where did that go? Oh, there it is. Flawless Concealer. I totally forgot to tell you guys what shade this was in. This is in medium beige. I really like this stuff. Really good coverage under my eyes. Like, that's amazing. Again, did a really good job at spot concealing. Like, my face looked really, really good. So, love that. It's another A. Like, I feel like I'm gonna be giving a lot of A's today because everything I tried is really, really good. So the blotting powder, I'm gonna give it a B. Like, it was fine, it worked well. I don't really like the bulky packaging that much, but like, it's not that big of a deal. And like the actual like puff they gave wasn't too bad. It didn't pick up too much product like some of the other ones do. So, and again, like, my skin looked good, so with this one, so B. I mean, it's not revolutionary or anything, but hey, it did its job. It blotted fairly well. So the next thing, the Putty bronzer. I love the way this looks. So if you're looking for a dupe for like the Say Beauty cream bronzer, I would recommend getting this. Or like, I haven't tried the Fenty one, but like, it would probably be a dupe for that as well. Like, I really liked the way it looked on my skin on both sides of my face using both a brush and a beauty blender. Like, it looked really, really good, deepened up my skin very nicely. You know, very like kind of subtle bronze. I love that. And it has a really good shade range, so high key recommend picking this up. I paid full price for this and it's very worth it. Primer Infused blush. Again, another A. Like, probably my only complaint is that it does have a lot of kickback, so if that bothers you, probably wouldn't recommend getting this. But other than that, like, I love it. Like, it looked really, really nice on my skin. Didn't like gather in weird areas or anything like that. I love the tone of the color I picked. I mean, really good. So yeah, another A so far. And again, keep in mind, this is my first impressions of everything, so my opinions might change on these products like later on down the line in future videos, so just keep that in mind. Shimmering highlighting powder. I would probably give this a B just because like it's not like amazing like the rest of the products and wouldn't work for everybody, specifically this color. Because I feel like on my skin tone, it looked fairly well. It gives a nice glow. But on other people, it probably wouldn't look that great. It would be a little too deep. But, I mean, again, like, the only reason I'm giving this a B is because everything else was just so amazing. And I don't think it's just at the same level as everything. So, I'm going to give this, like, a B+. Because it's almost an A. But yeah, again. So, let me find the brow pencil. I give this a B because it works really well. It's not anything revolutionary, but it's a pretty good brow product for a pretty good price. Putty eye primer. I think this is going to be my one like D of everything that I've tried, because while my eyeshadows do look nice, it was really, really hard to like maneuver and get around and like get out of this thing. It was really, really stiff. I didn't really like that I had to like tug on my eyelid to like get it to blend. I don't think that's a really good sign for like an eye primer, and I don't think you should have to be tough on your eyes to get something to work. So yeah, didn't like this that much. I mean, it worked. It wasn't a complete fail, but like I had to work too hard to get it to work, and I don't really like that. Eyeshadow palette. Where is it? Okay, it is. This is really good. Like, the colors look really amazing. They blended really well with each other. They're really easy to clean up. I would say probably my only comment is the brown shade did have a bit of kickback, but it doesn't really bother me that much. But if it does, you know, just something to keep in mind. But like, I feel like all the colors worked really, really well. There wasn't any fallout or anything with the shimmers. So like, again, another A, really good price, really good product for a really good price. So the next thing is the Precision Liquid Liner. I'm gonna give this one a B just because like it worked fairly well, but again, it's just not like amazing like a lot of the other products I've tried. And also I don't really like this type of applicator that much. I tend to like my eyeliners in like a pen form better. Just, I mean, it's just like a preference thing, but like it looks really nice and it applied fairly well, so B for that. Lash It Loud. I've seen a lot of mixed reviews on this, but like so far I really like it. I don't think it's revolutionary or anything, so I'm just gonna give it a B. But I mean, it looks fairly good for like my initial application. I will definitely update you guys on that later, see how it holds up. But I mean, it worked fairly well and looks fairly good, so I'm gonna give it a B. It's not like amazing, but you know, it's good, in my opinion at least. And last but not least, the lip product. I am also going to give this a B because while it is not like amazing or anything like that, you know, it's a fairly good lip product. It feels good, has a nice bright color. So yeah, like pretty much everything was either an A or a B, and there was really only one D out of everything. Like, I'm impressed, e.l.f. Wow. Dang, it's getting a lot hard on my teeth. But yeah, I mean, that's my final thoughts on everything. I will be updating you guys with a wear test later, so stay tuned for that, because I will be going to my D&D group later. Yeah, again, thank you for watching my video. Please like, comment, and subscribe because we love engagement over here, and stay tuned for videos in the future. I will be doing a full face of Wilma Beauty later, and I'm also thinking about doing a how to do a cut crease video. So please comment below if you guys would like to see those videos and other videos you'd like to see from me in the future. Thank you. Bye. Hello everybody. I am back to check in with all of you on how the items stood up in a wear test. So you can see eyeshadow did not hold up at all. And I really do think that it's the primer because you can kind of see that the primer creased really badly, so I think it's the primer's fault. So I'll definitely have to try the palette again with a different primer to see how it holds up. I obviously didn't go with the red lipstick, even though it's really cute. I'll definitely do another video on that to see how that holds up, but that eyeliner held up really well. And just for reference, it's like I put on my makeup around like 3:30, and right now it is like past 9, so I've been out for a bit. I basically went to go play D&D, and when I left out it was drizzling a bit. I did get a bit wet, so there's that to consider as well. But my base, on the other hand, I would say held up very well. The blush, I would say, is still on my face. And really the two places that it faded the most is my nose and kind of my chin a bit. But I did eat, so kind of makes sense. And like my nose area gets really oily, but I will say like this is the least shiny I've looked after a bit, so that's pretty cool. And like I gotta say, like my concealers held up pretty well. So I said overall my base just held up really well. The blush and the highlighter kind of faded a little bit, but yeah, like I'd say that held up fairly good. Yeah. That is my update for you guys on the wear test. And thank you for watching my video. Bye!